Hi, my name is Laura Mardonis from musicBridge.world. This is the second part of a video series that I am making about how to get large ensembles started with Jamulus. In the first part, I talked about why you might want to get invested and take the effort of learning how to use Jamulus and getting your entire ensemble on board with it. There are a lot of good reasons for it, and if you haven't seen that yet, I recommend that you go catch that video. In this part, I will describe my process for onboarding and the items I think might be of interest for you as a musical leader or as the tech person of your ensemble, what you need to take into account and what you probably have to make decisions on and make happen for your ensemble. So basically, you can do it everything on your own. Everything is for free. You don't need to take many additional costs to this. There is one tiny exemption that I will get into shortly. And this might be super simple and super easy. Things might just be a happy flow and you'll go from clarity to clarity. But there's still things you need to consider when you get started. One of them is this. Even though Jamulus is super easy and quick to get started with as an individual, this is mostly true for those of us who are a little bit more comfortable using IT. There are probably going to be members of your ensemble who feel a little bit more hesitant. This is in particular true of choirs that where you might have some of your more elderly members. For them, this turns into something of a challenge sometimes and a stress item, but doesn't necessarily have to be that difficult. You basically have to deal with four major fields here when you get an ensemble started with Jamulus. I'm going to go through them one by one. First of all, you need to have at least one person in your ensemble who's a little bit more tech-minded, because you will need, as an ensemble, to manage your server solution. In order to be able to use a private rehearsal space, you will probably want to set up a private server. Now, this could be a physical server in somebody's home or a virtual server up in the cloud. Regardless of which option you choose, you might have a few costs related to this, mainly because of data traffic. The next thing you need to consider is how to get each and every one on your ensemble to install and set up Jamulus. The first prerequisite here is that everybody does have an internet connection at home. If they don't, then this is the part where I say thank you and good luck, and I hope you find another solution, because Jamulus totally depends on a stable internet connection. And you need to be able to use a cabled solution. You do not use Wi-Fi. If you only have access to Wi-Fi and don't have a router of your own into which you can plug that Ethernet cable, then again, you need to go look for another solution. For Jamulus, threaded network cable works best, no Wi-Fi. Some people might not have a computer, which is the second prerequisite. You need to have a computer upon which you can install software. If you either don't have a computer or only have access to a work laptop, for instance, on which you can't install software, then you need to find another solution. But you can stick around because musicBridge.world does offer you an option. Which is something that you can make on your own, actually. You could build your own computer. And it's not such a harebrained idea as it might sound, because you can really build tiny, cheap mini computers based on a Raspberry Pi, as it's called, which is what musicBridge.world offers to you as a standalone musicBridge device solution for your Jamulus needs. You could do it on your own. And then once you have settled that everybody does have a way of installing and setting up Jamulus, then you can move on to the next item on my list. And it's the fact that as the tech person of your ensemble, you will have to help them troubleshoot their setups. Because although many of them won't run into any kind of issues, there are going to be a few that won't be able to be as quickly up and running as some of the others. This could be depending on the drivers they need to install. For instance, you can, if you're using a Mac computer or a Linux, you don't have as many uh, parts where things can go wrong. But using a Windows computer, if you're not using any external sound cards, then you will have to install ASIO for all. And this is a part where a lot of the times you will have a little bit of, as my friend Tord calls it, trial and horror. Okay, so get ready for your Windows connected users to help them get onboarded with Jamulus and help them troubleshoot their setups. And there are going to be as many different setups as you have different ensemble members. So any kind of computer, Windows, Mac, or Linux is going to work. If you're thinking about buying a computer specifically for Jamulus, I urge you to have a little bit of care if you're thinking of a Chromebook, because I'm not entirely sure that these work perfectly well with Jamulus, but any other kind of computer will work. If you're on a Windows machine, you will probably need to install ASIO for all if you're not using an external sound card. And there might be members who have their own advanced microphone that have external sound cards and so on. If they do, they probably know how to handle them as well. So then the fourth field for you to consider is that you will need to become the teacher, because you'll need to teach each and every member of your ensemble how to handle Jamulus. So this could be, again, super easy and super intuitive for most of your ensemble members. But for some of them, this might also become a challenge, because you have to not only handle your own levels, which I'm going to get back to soon, but you'll also have to handle the levels for each and everybody else in your ensemble. There are ways that has become easier and easier. The latest release of Jamulus, the 3.6.1 version, actually includes 2 rows of mixer levels, and you can also group them and individually adjust. Oh, there are things and ways to make this easier, but still, each and every one of your members are going to have to learn how to use this functionality. Also, one of the most important things to manage is your own input volume and your output volume into your microphone and out from your headphones. These settings are not managed in Jamulus, so your ensemble members are going to have to learn how to do that from their operating system settings, unless they're using external devices, in which case they might have a simpler interface to manage it. But if they're plugging something directly into their computer, they're going to have to go into their operating systems to manage these levels. You can't get away from it. Again, for some this is easy, for some this ain't. Another thing you'll have to have your ensemble members managing is peak, because sometimes when the volume goes beyond a certain point, the sound starts to distort. Unless you have some kind of compression on this signal or an equalizer, or if you have excellent microphone technique, you'll need some sort of an external system to deal with this, to manage it. Typically, in a computer, you would install a digital audio workspace, a DAW. So that's yet another piece of software that everybody needs to install and learn how to use. But there are many good ones out there, and they are for free, some of them, and some are included in whatever setup you have. So this doesn't have to become a major investment, but you will need to use it if you want to avoid the distortion of sound. And finally, the last systems that your ensemble members are going to have to learn how to manage is the video system, because a lot of the times you're going to want to see each other, even though you can't follow your musical director because of the lack of sync between audio and video, but you're still going to want to sort of feel like you're in the room with them. So probably you'll need to teach all your members how to use that. But presumably you might have already tried to use Zoom for your rehearsals, or Teams or Meet or any of the other conferencing systems for video. But that's yet another system, though, that needs to be handled during a rehearsal. And there is a risk of using these video conferencing systems, and that is the fact that they will try to steal your microphone from Jamulus if you're using a microphone, and there could potentially be some conflicts of devices here. So be very careful to always start Jamulus first and then your video system, okay? And still, they might still steal your microphones. Those are greedy little buggers. Okay, so you've gone to the point where you managed to onboard your entire ensemble. You had zero issues. Everybody's so happy with it and they take to it like ducks to water. Perfect. Congratulations. Get out of here and get rehearsing with your ensemble and enjoy, have fun. But what if you run into problems along the way? What if you're an ensemble that couldn't solve all of those issues? What if you feel from the start that, oh, I'm going to need some assistance? Well, this is where musicBridge.world comes into play. Everything I've told you about to date is for free and you can do it on your own. But depending on the size of your ensemble, this might take also a lot of time and effort. So if you need help with that, you can always turn to musicBridge.world, and we are offering you a complete solution, which consists of a piece of hardware, which is your standalone dedicated Jamulus box, a Music Bridge device, and the platform, which has a very simple interface with a few and as little as possible functionality and options for your users to keep the decisions to a minimum, and they can focus on their music rather than on the tech. So the focus here has been to take away decisions, which for some people, as myself, I find that, oh, I want to be able to make these decisions on my own. But when you're in an ensemble of 50 or more people working together in Jamulus, it gets to be a lot. I mean, you're going to have to keep track of a lot of things and yourself and your music at the same time. I would prefer to focus on my singing personally. So this is a good option. So if your ensemble says, we are having problems installing the software. We have members who don't have computers. We have members who are having issues. That's no problem. We offer you the box. It's a simple Raspberry Pi on which we've installed all the necessary software and drivers that are needed. All the user has to do is plug in the network cable, plug in a USB headset, and the power cord, and you're done. No other installation, no other assembly required. Plug and play. If your ensemble says, we don't have a techie to manage the servers, no problems. The ensemble subscription to the platform includes server management. So for each ensemble, we will provide a rehearsal space that is accessible for you whenever you need it. The data costs are also included in the subscription fee. The ensemble overview page is going to make it easy for one admin to deal with the levels and mixing of the sound for everybody. And that will take that away from each of the ensemble members. And for the ensemble members, the only options left to them will be to pick which room they want to go to, if your ensemble has more than one option, and to manage the input volume and output volume right there from the comfort of this web page, which is going to be accessible from any device, be it a stationary computer or a laptop or a smartphone or tablet, because this interface is online. Now remember that I said you had to use a network cable for your box, but the managing of the system, of the platform, you can do it on Wi-Fi. So it's much more comfortable and you're less tied down to a particular location in your home, which might be an advantage if your family members or neighbors feel like you're making a lot of noise. You could really choose where to set up your music corner. If your ensemble members find that managing and handling Jamulus is complicated and it takes a lot of effort and attention away from what they really want to be doing, which is making music, then, as I mentioned, the interface is super simple for their use. Peak management is integrated into the musicBridge.world platform. So equalizer and compression is of the signal is included in your ensemble subscription. And the same applies for video because the ensemble overview page is has integrated video management system. It's called Jitsi, and once your members log in there, if they have a camera on their device that which they're using for the music, then they will be on the videos, the conference with everybody else. So there's no need to manage a separate system, not for the peak management and not for the video. Okay, if you're doing it on your own, remember these items or these topics that you need to manage, that you need to handle, and make sure to set aside time to work with these things. You need to have your server management solution thought of and have somebody running your servers. You need to have each and every member of your ensemble install and set up Jamulus, and that might entail installing sound drivers and setting up everything in Jamulus so they get sound in and out of it. Get ready to help them troubleshoot because a lot of them are gonna run into some kind of obstacle, some kind of question. You have to teach them how to manage their own individual gain and volume and output and input. You need to teach them how to manage the same for everybody else on Jamulus and how to manage their peaks and distorted sounds and to group the other ensemble members and handle the groups all together and give them some pointers on how to use the video system and how to avoid conflicts between devices. Or if you want to buy the complete solution or even a partial solution from musicBridge.world, you are welcome to contact us. If you are interested in the musicBridge.world solution, the box costs £99 each or £25 a month for 5 months. If at any point you feel you want to cancel this agreement, you're quite welcome to do so, and we only ask that you return the box to us. Otherwise, after the 5 installments or paying the £99, the box is yours. The subscription for an individual member of an ensemble is gonna cost about as much in a month as 2 cups of coffee on the town. So for an ensemble of 4 people, a quartet, it's going to be 18 British pounds per month. If you even that out amongst everybody, that's £4.50. If you're a larger ensemble, say 70 people, the ensemble in total will pay 245 British pounds per month, which is £3.50 per person. So if you are interested, these are examples of prices, and the exact subscription cost for each ensemble is going to be dependent on how many additional servers you might need or how many boxes you need and how many ensemble members you have. Some of them might already be on Jamulus on their own computers, so you don't need to include their individual part in the subscription. So the exact prices vary, but these are good price examples. If you want some more information, feel free to sign up. We have a webpage at musicBridge.world. From the front page, you'll find your way into the contact page where you just sign up with your email address and we'll contact you and give you all the information you want from us. That's all I had. I wish you all good luck in your onboarding of your ensembles, regardless of which solution you choose, if you go it on your own or if you contact us for further assistance. I really hope to see you soon performing live and together, and hopefully you'll find your way also to performing at the World Jam live show. So I'm looking forward to both hearing and seeing you. Bye-bye.